Theatrical Shenanigans with
Nora, Louise, Syran.
Hello there, and welcome back to a brand new series here on Theatrical Shenanigans. I hope you're ready to enjoy 10 brand new plays and listen to chat with 10 wonderful guests. Speaking of which, my guest today is a poet, playwright, lyricist, songwriter, translator, and educator. A child of immigrants, she's spent years teaching, travelling, and creating on 4 different continents. She has a fabulous collection of plays, many of which have been published and received awards. She studied under poet Bridget P. Kelly and mezzo-soprano Sylvia Stone at the University of Illinois. And if all that wasn't enough, she's also a member of the SACD, the Dramatists Guild, the Honour Roll, and Playwrights Thriving. It's a thrill to have her here. Welcome, Nora Louise Syran.
Hi.
It's an absolute thrill to have you here. So, as always, we go right back to the beginning. How did you get your start in the arts world?
School. I came to the US. I don't remember it before coming to the US. Theater, really. I do remember my mother making me a Big Bird costume, which because it was really popular at the time. But theater, I was given the role of the ladybug in James and the Giant Peach, and I vividly remember some of my earliest memories of that. That audience appreciation and just that real, the bug. And I remember wanting to play Eeyore next. And then even when I couldn't be a part of it for various reasons, I always enjoyed contributing somehow. I remember age 12, maybe, I wrote a song for our version of The Wizard of Oz. I just wanted to be a part of it. And I think the bug hit badly. But it wasn't it wasn't until I started teaching overseas and I needed scripts, because I'd taken on a drama class and I had no resources, and I was in Venezuela at the time, and I knew I'd always loved writing. Yeah, so I started writing scripts for my students overseas, some of them okay, some of them terrible. That's what's so exciting about it, that if I were to write that same script today, it would be a completely different thing, because we change so much as we write and grow as human beings.
Yeah, definitely. But going to your work as a playwright, you have just this incredible collection of works. So as a playwright, are there any topics you prefer to write about or genres you like to write in, or is it just a little bit of everything?
I just like to create, period, and it's fun to dabble in and find a voice in these different genres. But I think of the stuff I'm most proud of, there's always well, you would hope, it's a play after all, but theatricality, I think mostly having been in school for so long as a child and as a teacher, I always was looking to make sure my tech crew had stuff to do, the lighting, the sound, the stage, the costumes, the music, I just love involving and showing off that student talent so much. So that's sort of that's crept into the rest of my writing, so I'm writing more now for adults and writing more things that I've always felt compelled to write. All the stories I've really wanted to write, that's coming out more now that I don't have the French would call them les cowboys, the cowboys. I called my students the guinea pigs. That's the word for the cowboys. I don't have my cowboys to test play ideas out on. So I'm missing that for sure from a school situation. But I am enjoying dabbling in more adult themes and exploring myself a little bit more, which is fun. Yeah.
But as if being a playwright isn't enough, you're also a lyricist and a songwriter, which I've often said I'm in complete awe of people that can work with and create music. How do you find the ability to write songs compared to writing dialogue and writing plays?
Well, I think it's really nice. I never wrote songwriter on my bio, because I do it very casually and only kind of when the mood strikes, or if I have an inspiration, or so that in that way it's like any kind of creating. I think it takes some sort of spark, a challenge, or I mean, I wrote a science song about the solar eclipse when I was living in Venezuela, because we learned all about it, and I wanted to teach my students, and it was a great joy to sit out there when, we had about 5 minutes of the eclipse. It was huge, it was long and amazing, and all of a sudden my students started singing the song I taught them. So that was really special. I do regularly make up melodies. I always thought that was sort of a normal thing when you hear something and you make a melody to it. I just assume everybody does that, but I guess not. So yeah, I guess I'm a songwriter. Has it really taken the shape of anything formal? No, no. But who knows? I mean, I am enjoying, at the moment, I'm enjoying incorporating public domain music into my plays. They capture the sense of a space or a place or and character and humor or pathos. Music just does everything. So it's hard for me to imagine plays without music. I mean, I really do try. I'm trying to write them without music, but
But then, if you weren't busy enough, as you've already said, you are involved in the teaching side of the arts. How did you kind of wander down that path, and how do you find teaching the arts has changed over the years?
I was living in France and teaching in a very academic OIB, which was the Option Internationale Baccalaureate, and then the IB, the International Baccalaureate. Literature, and then I was teaching Oedipus one moment, and then I'd go running down the hill and teach music and drama to little ones. So it was a little bit psycho. I have been replacement teaching here in the US and have been thrown into various situations. And the one thing I do notice is what everyone complains about with even with adults is that we're becoming so is the word insular when we're so focused on ourselves,
Yeah.
and and even teachers complaining about how students do not understand how when they miss a rehearsal it affects everyone. There's a real sense of community that's missing. And I think COVID for sure had and teachers talk about this a lot. I remember my last year in France, lovely group of kids, but I had such a hard time connecting.
Mm.
Um, they had gotten used to screens. They had gotten used to just give us what we need, kind of. We don't need to have a relationship with you. And it's not like we needed to have like a total relationship, but
Yeah.
in an Anglophone spirit versus you do need some level of connection with your
Yeah.
students. And it's really hard. It was really hard. Yeah. But yeah, that collaborative idea, I think, is difficult these days, and with so much competing for our attention,
Yeah.
just theater in general. But I do like all of us involved in theater. I think it is the thing that will save us.
Mm.
I
Yeah.
think ultimately it will be the thing that will save us with AI and um, yeah, I really I do think that I do believe that.
But you've had many productions of your work, but if you had to choose one of your pieces that has not had a live production that you'd love to see up on a stage, what would it be and why?
The most recent one is a tragedy that I wrote that I think is actually doable on the stage. And so, yeah, I'd like to see the Mountains of the Servants of God on stage.
Ooh.
It's it's a tragedy that I wrote for the Risk competition last May, Risk theater Risk tragedy competition by Edwin Wong,
Mm.
uh, and something spoke to me. I so much so that I ended up going back and visiting my mother, going into an old box of stuff and finding this script that I had written when I was 28 years old, something, and I mean, it's terrible, terrible script, terrible. It's like a screenplay, play, God knows what, poetry, weird. And thankfully, though, I had written down key themes and ideas that have always stayed with me. It was a visit it was based on a visit uh, um, I'd been living in Istanbul for a couple of years, and I joined I think it was called the American Archaeological Research Institute or something. And great bunch of people that took you on tours, and it was, nice and intellectual and also fun. And we went to see um, a village that was to be wiped out by a new dam, by the rising waters of a dam. And then I learned of a place called Zeugma, where these incredible Roman mosaics were going to be flooded, and the archaeologists were racing to get it, cataloged or moved, and they did. In Zeugma they managed to move everything, but there's just so much history and culture and life, and I was so profoundly touched by it all that I wrote out this really crappy screenplay. And thankfully I did, because then when the call came for the Risk theater competition, I think it was like a lot of things, walking the dog, and I hear this thing and I'm thinking, wait a minute, wait, what moment, and I realized I had something that could that followed the model, I think. It got semi-finalist place, which is great, but and it was an early draft, so I think it's better now. But um, I did think it fit the model, and I'd love to be able to see if it works as a play. Well, like so many of us, I mean, there's so few opportunities and so much creativity and so many incredible stories out there that yeah, we can dream. I can hope.
And finally, before we move on to our play for this episode, do you have a standout moment? A moment that makes you think, yeah, this is why I do this?
The first running of Our Fake History in France, I was able to produce what I wanted within reason, and we'll see if that play takes off in the United States. But it's very timely. It's about disinformation and fake history and how we love to repeat stories that are untrue. But I just remember watching the students getting through it and enjoying themselves, and then turning and hearing the audience laughing at various points, at the right points. And I think we've all had that, hopefully all will have that experience or have had that experience where the audience is reacting at exactly the right places, the places that you crafted for them to laugh, and they laugh. And I just, and then the kids on stage responding to the audience laughing and enjoying it and realizing that's why we do what we do. We share this moment, and it's something so magical. So yeah, that's what it's all about.
Now we want to talk about our playwright and play for this episode. Eden Lane is a Colorado-based playwright, actor and journalist whose work has grown out of time spent in both newsrooms and theatres. Original Edward R. Murrow Award recipient, she is drawn to stories about people in the moments of transition, particularly around work, identity and community. Eden's play we'll hear shortly is called Final Edition, and when asked about her inspiration, Eden said, "I was inspired by time spent in newsrooms, places where urgency, humour, routine and humanity exist side by side. As many newsrooms continue to downsize or close, I've watched friends and colleagues not just lose jobs but entire communities' identities built around what they do. This is my attempt to capture the sound of a world that is disappearing and to ask what remains when the work you've built your life around comes to an end." Theatrical Shenanigans presents Final Edition by Eden Lane.
Got the photo. And donuts. Let's put out a paper.
You went out to Castellano's forge?
He finished it last night. Wanted us to see it before Tuesday.
It's beautiful.
300 pounds of forged steel. He says it'll last 1,000 years.
Longer than we will.
Dedications at the library?
Tuesday, 2 p.m., front lawn.
Tuesday, after we're gone. Front page?
Above the fold.
If this is the last edition, I'm taking 3 donuts.
Right. The last edition.
This is what they'll find in that time capsule in 50 years. Donut crumbs and bad coffee.
Better than lemon bars. Claire's dad hated lemon bars. Used to hide them in the supply closet so nobody'd ask him for the recipe.
He said dessert shouldn't be suspiciously sticky.
Dot once wrote a whole editorial about donuts. It was a cry for help.
It was a public service announcement.
We got about 6 hours to deadline. Blake, can you make room above the fold?
I'll bump the bake sale.
How'd that turn out?
Mrs. Patterson's lemon bars. Again. Reverend Mike came in third with store-bought cookies.
That man has no shame. Don't you dare. She's showing off because you're here, Claire. Just like your father. I'll be in the back before she changes her mind.
Think she'll be okay?
The press or Dot?
Yes.
They've been together longer than most marriages. They'll figure it out.
How's your goodbye piece coming?
It's, coming.
Don't overthink it. Just tell the truth.
We still need the blotter. Dot was supposed to...
I'm working on it!
Transcribe the incident reports.
I'll handle it. What else?
Waiting on a quote from the principal. They want to say something for the final edition.
Good. Chase that.
You okay?
Ask me tomorrow.
Fair enough.
Okay, let's see where we are.
School board lead is fixed. Can you look?
Bring it over.
Weekly Herald, Marty Blake. Yes, Reverend Mike. I've got the farewell announcement.
Okay. I shortened it to the school board voted Tuesday to form a subcommittee to study cafeteria vending machine options.
Better. Change voted to form to formed. Cuts a word and loses the double to.
Oh, right.
And study to review. Sounds more active.
We're very tight on space this week. No, I can't guarantee above the fold.
You're vibrating.
It's just spam.
Sam, you're doing the look away while lying thing again.
I don't have a look away when I'm lying thing.
You absolutely do. Reverend, I promise we'll spell potluck correctly this time.
Claire, can I ask you something?
Of course.
After today, when everything goes digital, they're gonna need someone local, right? Someone who knows the stories.
Probably.
Someone who could cover school board, city council, runaway llamas.
Sam,
They offered me a job
when?
last week. I didn't know how to tell you.
Claire, do you want the football game above or below the fold?
Above. We'll talk about this later.
I'm sorry.
Don't be sorry, just... Let's get through today first.
The game's Friday. We won't be here Friday.
I know.
Above the fold, then.
It really is beautiful. The time capsule.
When did Castellano finish it?
Last night. My dad would have liked the welds. I stopped by the forge first thing. That's why the donuts are still warm.
You got donuts after visiting a forge at dawn.
The donut hut is on the way back from Castellano's.
Dedication's Tuesday?
Tuesday at 2. Library lawn.
And you won't be here to cover it.
No. But we'll cover the story today. That's what matters.
Right. Today.
You want me to scan that photo for the front page?
Please.
This coffee is a crime. Marty, the test page is a mess.
Not the plate maker.
On the plate maker. Again.
I'll stop.
No, you won't. You'll just feel guilty about it. Registration's off. Cyan's drifting left. Magenta's too eager.
Can you fix it?
Can I fix it? Can I? Yes, I can fix it. I always fix it. I've been babysitting this thing since your dad still thought a bow tie was a personality trait.
Is it bad?
It's a 50-year-old press on its last legs. Bad is relative. She's printed 3 mayors, 4 divorces, and 1 scandal we swore to bury. She's earned the right to be dramatic.
How long?
20 minutes to recalibrate. 30 if she decides she's a Lena-type machine from 1952 again.
Take what you need.
How's the llama party?
Done. With the photo. Emmer Henderson's 8th birthday. Lammer in a party hat, the whole thing.
Good. Emma deserves to see her birthday in the paper. Her grandma and I used to cut class to read the funnies. Back when your granddad ran this place, Claire.
Oh.
It's a family business. We just forgot to retire.
Hmm.
I'm going to get one more good run out of her if it's the last thing I do. I mean the press. Not me, probably.
She's in a good mood.
That was a good mood.
Will she really get it to run?
Yes.
Okay, time capsule, school board recap, garden club controversy, llama birthday, Little League scores,
There's a garden club controversy?
red petunias in the public planter, unauthorized. The official town flower is the yellow rose.
Of course it is.
Llama piece is ready?
Caption and everything. Llama Drama delights a birthday bash.
Hard-hitting journalism.
Hey, that llama made a kid's birthday special.
And 30 years from now, she'll remember that it made the paper.
Sand drift on the masthead. I'm chasing it.
Can you?
I said I'm chasing it. Not losing a fist fight.
Claire, I need 4 inches in church announcements.
Cut the bake sale.
It's for the youth group mission trip.
Fine, cut the potluck.
Farewell, potluck. The Reverend Mike.
Of course it is. Combine them. Farewell potluck and bake sale. Single brief.
The Methodists are going to call.
The Methodists always call.
Mayor Foster says the capsule is a promise to the future. Does promise to the future sound corny?
Yes.
Keep it. He said it.
Right. Quote the corny.
Weekly Herald. Hi, Mrs. Patterson. Yes, your lemon bars are mentioned. No, I don't think we can run a recipe this week.
Did you get the final Little League score?
They emailed it, or tried, I think. It went to spam.
That's where dreams go.
Found it. 10-8. Extra innings. The coach cried.
We're not printing the crying.
But it was, like, proud crying.
1 line. The coach was moved.
Got it.
Patterson wants us to use the phrase beloved community baker.
That's going to start a butter war.
Who's her rival?
Half the church ladies. I'm not printing that map.
Somebody left a paperclip in the infeed again.
That wasn't me.
I don't even know where the infeed is.
Nobody confess, just fix it.
Calling it page 3 feels optimistic.
Claire?
Hmm?
What happens to all these stories when there's no paper?
They still happened.
But if nobody writes them down...
Then we write what we can today. You're going to wear out the undo function.
Can I ask you something? For real, this time.
You just did.
Did you ever think about doing something else? Not newspaper work?
Why are you asking?
I'm just trying to picture you not here, and I can't.
I tried to stray for about 3 months in my 20s. Office job in a building that didn't smell like ink or burned coffee. I lasted until the first time I missed hearing the press come up to speed.
Did your dad freak out?
He pretended not to. But he kept a red pen in his shirt pocket, even at dinner. Just in case I came back with copy.
That's sweet. And slightly terrifying.
He believed this place would outlive him. Maybe he was right. Maybe this is what outliving looks like.
I wasn't ready to leave yet. That's the truth. I know how it looks. Everyone has to go, and I get to stay, and I feel sick about it. But also, I'm not done learning. I need more work, more llamas.
You're right.
I really was expecting a pep talk.
Why argue with the truth? You're not ready to leave. You need another year, maybe 2. So, yes, you should stay.
But you...
The world's changing. Again. And this time, I can't afford to go with it. Apparently, you need money to run a newspaper. Oh, no.
Claire!
I sold the paper, Sam. I had to.
You did everything you could.
I did everything I knew how to do. Your generation will know different things. You'll figure out how to do good work anyway. You'll find the Emma Hendersons and the runaway llamas and the school board meetings that matter to someone.
The stories matter to someone.
Exactly.
If you two are done having feelings, I need the front page.
2 minutes. Back to work.
Back to work.
We're almost there. The press is cooperating. Mostly.
That's as close to optimism as she gets.
Remember COVID? Everybody working from home except me. Insurance said only managers on site.
So we made you operations manager.
Yeah, well, the corporate geniuses didn't know that meant woman who actually shoves paper into angry machinery. They thought I managed operations. Offered me a position. Operations and digital synergy. Said I could help shape the brand.
That sounds like a threat.
I told them exactly where they could put their synergy. Then I told them who they should hire.
You? You told them about me?
Who else was I going to recommend? Blake could make them cry. Claire'd stage a coup. You actually remember people's kids' names.
I didn't know.
Now you do. And, before anyone gets misty about it, press still needs me. For the next 20 minutes, anyway. Your dad and my grandfather used to fight over that press, Claire. Who got to fine-tune her? Now look at us. Two leftovers keeping her breathing. Could be worse.
That was a good thing she did.
I don't know what to say.
You don't have to say anything. Just do good work.
We're ready! Sending the first page!
I'll help her with the plates.
Did you really change your title just to keep it here during the shutdown?
We did what we had to. That's all any of this has ever been.
"90 years. Not bad, you old broad."
Time capsule ready for library dedication. Community invited to Tuesday ceremony.
After we're gone.
Mayor Jim Foster will officiate the dedication at the town library. The capsule, forged by local artist Joe Castellano from steel and reclaimed materials, will be buried on the front lawn and opened in 50 years. 50 years.
They'll forget we were ever here by then.
Maybe.
Or maybe some kid in 2075 pulls this out of a box and thinks, somebody cared enough to write it down.
My father used to say, we don't just write the first draft of history. We write the only draft most people ever read. He thought the paper would outlive him. I think he was right. Just not in the way he imagined.
It mattered. All of it. The llamas, the lemon bars, the obits that spelled their names right.
The pastors and the coaches and the bake sales.
And his birthday.
For one last day, we told the truth. Then we put the paper to bed.
A wonderful dedication to the glorious world of print there. That was Jackie Floyd as Claire, Sofia Atkin as Sam, Ash Albignac as Dot, and Jeff Priscorn as Marty in final edition by Eden Lane. Nora, what did you think?
I went right on NPX and wrote a recommendation. I loved it. I wrote, "This is good copy." It is. It was really good. I loved. Yeah, talk about like form following function. I just thought, and so much care and love and attention in the story. I really appreciated her touches of humor, the journalese sprinkled throughout, the newspaper's legacy, and the use of the articles. They're writing them in real time to tell the story. Yeah, and how we all matter, all our stories matter. And I really liked that she trusts her audience to get it.
Yeah.
I like that. It's unfolding like a newspaper, I mean, I just liked it. It was like turning page by page, and then finally it's and then you fold it, so that you can, like a newspaper when you'd have to like you wrestle with it. Yeah. And then you're folding it and you settle in and read. And that's how the play felt. Like it was like, what's going on in this story? What's happening exactly? And then that organized chaos starts to clear, and then there's this calm resignation at the end that outweighs any worry about, because we don't know exactly what will happen with everyone. And I liked that open ending. We don't,
Mm.
some of the characters we know what's going to happen to
Yeah.
them, and others we don't know, but
Mm.
we never know.
No.
You know, we never know in our real lives at all. Well, we don't know with our stories, for us all, we don't know what our real conclusion will be. And I really enjoyed that. So
Mm. And I love the fact, going back to what you said earlier about community, there's a very real sense of not just the community behind the paper. So, the reverend, the people with the bake sale, the people at the football
yeah,
game. There's also a community within the four of them
yeah,
because they've been here for forever and a day. So obviously Dot's been here since Claire's Father's Day. And you get that sense. You feel like none of them really want this to be over. I mean, even Sam, who has to say, they've offered me this new job. You get that sense that she doesn't want to leave this family she basically found herself with.
yeah, yeah, yeah. And yet there's this, like I said, resignation at the end that is so
Yeah.
calm and peaceful, and it's okay. It's going to be okay,
Mm.
and
And I love,
yeah,
as you said, with the organized chaos, you get the feeling that they are very much used to the printing press throwing a wobbler for every issue, or
yeah,
something
yeah,
happening that's up with the press that's upset Dot, or someone putting something on the printing press that's upset Dot, and you just like, I get the feeling this happens like every single time,
yeah,
and Marty's apologized every single time, and he'll still forget.
yeah. Yeah, all these little tiny scandals in there. There were so many lovely details, so many fun little details. Yeah, I really enjoyed it. Really
Yeah.
enjoyed it.
And I've always professed a love for playwrights who give you an insight into the world outside. And not only does Eden do that through their discussions about the paper, but you also, by the end, you know about Mrs. Patterson. You can see her in your mind. You can see Reverend Mike. You can see Emma enjoying her llama birthday.
Yeah,
And it's wonderful. It's brilliant. And it doesn't really need any more than it has. Because obviously there's a massive history behind this paper and there's so much that's gone on and gone into it, but you don't necessarily need all of that because they reminisce about it right the way through till, as you say, that moment at the end.
yeah. I mean, there's a sense of it. It's a very personal and yet epic. I mean, it's sort of this small little world, and then that there's this greater world outside of it, and
Yeah.
she's managed to capture a sort of intimacy and yet a sort of an epicness to a small town and its scandals and its conflicts, and it's the stories that matter to someone, and I really 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 appreciated that for sure.
Yeah, I mean, it's like Dot says at one point, she printed 3 mayors, 4 divorces, and 1 scandal we swore to bury. And now you're like, oh, well, now I want to know what that was.
Yeah,
Um,
you definitely get invested in it. You definitely, yeah, definitely.
yeah, and as far as the people of this community and this paper are concerned, the audience is seeing a piece of history here. You're seeing the forming of as it says, the final edition. And I,
Yeah,
I think it gives you, as much as sad as it is, obviously when it is all over, you do have that kind of warm and fuzzy feeling of having been a part of what's going to make up the final issue and seeing these people in that vulnerable state.
yeah, and that addition of the time capsule
Mm,
leaves it open. It adds
yeah.
to that open ending. It leaves it open to the future. There's so many lovely layers to this very short play, and yet so much in it. Yeah,
Yeah, I've always been amazed at what playwrights can fit into something that's, between 25 and 35 pages long, and it's incredible. And I say it gives you a wonderful array of emotions from the moments that tickle you and make you laugh to the moments that are genuinely quite heartbreaking to the moments that make you kind of feel, as I said before, a bit warm and fuzzy inside.
yeah,
And like I said when we first started talking about this, is that it's a testimonial to the world of print, which, if you consider how many people actually buy and read newspapers in their physical form now, I think is a great thing. I think to have this kind of testimonial now more than ever is a great thing.
yeah. It's definitely definitely a story that stays with you, It's definitely a story to last. It was a good one. Well chosen, Rachel.
On that note, we are almost out of time. Nora, your final thoughts on the piece as a whole?
Again, whether it's in print, whether it's in a play form, whether it's an audio play, whether it's on the stage, it's the stories that matter to someone. And I think that is ultimately what's so lovely about the play and its message.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. Okay, devastatingly, we are out of time. Nora, thank you so much for being here and discussing this wonderful play and all your wonderful adventures everywhere.
Thank you so much for having me. It's nice chatting with you. Nice reconnecting.
And that is all the time we have for this very first episode of this season. I hope you enjoyed my chat with Nora and our wonderful play by Eden. As always with Theatrical Shenanigans, we love to reach out to new people with every new episode. So if you know of an audio play or indeed theatre lover out there who you think would enjoy the show, then please share us with them. We will be back in 2 weeks with another fabulous play and guest, so I hope you can join us then. But in the meantime though, I've been Rachel Feeney-Williams, this is Theatrical Shenanigans, bringing down the curtain and saying, I hope you can join us next time. Theatrical Shenanigans is part of an RFW Scripts production, found on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Podcasts and Podbean. Theme music is written and produced by Chris Cody.